You might live forever. Can you afford it?
So when we first started talking about second half man, you gave me your concept. I was like, man, this is going to be awesome. This is, we need to build this brotherhood. We need to be concerned about this, because specifically to me, the future that I had been planning for all this time, how I expected my second half, even though I didn't know it was going to be my second half at the time, how that was going to look and what my plan was going to be. So, which way do I go?
Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. You just might live forever. Can you afford it?
Okay. So welcome back to the Second Half Man Show. I'm 601. I'm here with Russ Borden, the founder of Second Half Man. We hope you like what you see. Please hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe so you can see all of our Second Half Man shows. So Russ, give it to me, man. Tell me.
Right now, if you are 60, have plans, you retire 65, and you have money that's going to last you till, let's say, 85 years old, according to your plan, right? But you live to 97. Now you got, 12 years of unfunded life. And, at an average of $77,000 annual household spend, that's nearly $1 million that you need that you have never planned for.
Woo! Russ, have you got some more good news for me?
Nobody's really telling you and connecting the dots for you. Your advisor knows one number, your doctor has another one, the tech press is, coming every day saying something different, and you're sitting at the intersection of all of these with no map. We need to talk about the trap. There's 3 basic traps, and I kind of take this from you. You're big on the whole A to B. Tell me how to get that from here to there. We as men basically fall into 3 distinct categories, right? So first, you're either the optimist, which is you hear Elon Musk saying, don't, worry about saving for retirement. Retirement savings is going to be a waste of time. So you're going to be, in 15 to 20 years, you're going to have more money than you know what to do with, right? So you hear that, and you slow down your savings, you stop building new income, you bet on Musk and say that, abundance is going to arrive before my money runs out. Musk has been wrong, right? Well, he hasn't been wrong on a whole lot of things that he says he's going to do. What he's been wrong on is timing, right? So what happens if you bet on this and the timing's not 15 to 20 years, it's 25 to 30 years before we hit that utopia. And most of us are going to have run out of money 20 years before we get to that point, right? So that's the first one. If you're not an optimist, you could be a pessimist, right? You see everything through the disruption lens, and you start pulling cash out of all your investments, and you stop working on growing your business or investing in yourself to get ahead, because what the hell's the use? The sky's falling. What the hell? What am I doing all this for? So you do all that and trying to wait for the storm to pass. Well, you may survive. You may survive the disruption, but what happens on the other side? If the next economy, when the next economy hits, because there will be a new economy, we just don't know exactly what it is yet, and you end up there, you start that in that new economy with no new skills, no streams of income, no momentum. You didn't lose any money. Hell, you lost your future.
Yep. I understand that.
Yeah. The last group that you may fall into, you may be an ostrich, right? You're ignoring everything. Got your head in the sand. You're running from the old playbook. You're saying everything's overblown one way or the other. It's going to be the same old, no matter what happens. and you run that whole diversified portfolio, max out your 401k, plan for 20 years of drawdown, and you just assume that the world's going to keep on doing what it's going to do. I'm going to die when I'm supposed to die, and the economy is going to hold still, and everything's going to be great for the next foreseeable future.
That's a great description. I think, and unfortunately there's too many people I think that fit in that description.
Well, actually, that category is the most dangerous one. Why? And you ask why? It's because it feels right? It makes it's the easiest thing to do is just say, the hell with this. Everybody's crazy. It's just going to keep on going like it has for the last 40 or 50 years.
Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. Right.
So what I really want to say is you fall into one of those three categories, and all three of those, the pessimist, the optimist, and the ostrich, have all made the same mistake. They each picked a future and planned for it as if it were certain.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying. I get it. But so what's the sovereign solution for our guys in this situation?
As a matter of fact, in my upcoming book, The Second Half Manifesto, How to Stay Dangerous When AI and Society Want You Obsolete, we have the 22 elements of the Sovereign's Code, and element number 20 deals with this specifically. All right. Element number 20 is you need to build deep prosperity.
This is what the sovereign would do.
Exactly. This is their sovereign response, right? So deep prosperity is not a number in an account. It's the architecture of freedom that sustains you regardless of what the world does next. And there's 4 dimensions to it. So there is financial freedom, but you need to have multiple durable streams of income that keep producing and keep flowing, whether you work or not, whether abundance arrives or I have enough money on my floor to do whatever needs to be done, and whether the economy goes in your favor or it doesn't really matter. You have financial freedom, right? The second part of the 4 dimensions is time freedom. You have the ability to choose how you spend your hours, right? It's not that you are working hours and trading them for survival. I'm not working hours to trade for my money. I am able to choose my hours and how I spend them. The third dimension of it is location freedom, right? So I have the option to live and work from wherever it serves my life. If I am working and I have to be at a particular office at a particular time, that doesn't serve my life. That serves somebody else's. I'm just getting paid for the hours that I'm willing to give up. And the last dimension is really deep satisfaction. You have to have the deep satisfaction of choosing what you do because it matters, not because it's a paycheck, not because you feel like you have to do that in order to pay the bills. This is your purpose. The purpose for being able to do all of these things that you need to do from wherever you need to do them when you want to do them. This is deep prosperity. And why is that important? Because the man who has deep prosperity, he didn't have to pick which outcome was correct. If you have deep prosperity, it doesn't matter if we end up in a utopia or a dystopia or nothing really changes at all. You're right across the board.
Should we take a little closer look at that? Or
yeah, I think we should. I mean, we can talk about how this goes and where this goes from. So the sovereignty frame says financial planner builds for a single predicted future. The sovereign builds for all of them, right? Multiple streams, durable assets, time that belongs to him, a body healthy enough to use it all, and a mind sharp enough to adapt. And that position doesn't require predicting anything, right? We don't have to predict whether or not we have a future of abundance or a future of disruption or everything's just going to stay the same. It just requires us to build correctly.
What can I do now? Because that deep prosperity is huge. But what can we do? What can we do next?
I got you. I got you, man. The very first thing you need to do is run your deep prosperity audit this week.
Okay.
Take 30 minutes, sit down, audit all 4 dimensions of your prosperity, right? Sit down and write out, number one, your financial freedom, and list every source of income that you have, right? Salary, investments, all of it, Social Security. And then with each one of those, right just next to it, what happens if I can't work? Does this kill the money that's coming in? So if you can't work and that's your primary source of income, then that's going to end up being 0 or it's going to get reduced. So any line item that depends entirely on you trading time for money, or AI can replicate it in, say, 5 years or so, that's exposed. And any line that stops paying the day you stop showing up, that's not really a stream of income. So determine where you're at on your financial freedom. That's number one. Number 2 is your time freedom audit. How many hours of your week are you spending on things that you choose versus things that you have to do? If the answer is less than 20%, then your prosperity is funding somebody else's priority, right? So there's location freedom.
My time is their time. My time is my time. Okay.
Exactly. Then you need to audit your location freedom. Can you do what you're doing from somewhere else if you needed to? Or is your income, chained to a desk, an office, some type of geography? If not, then that's a constraint, not a plan. And then finally, you need to really understand your purpose. If your money were no longer the reason that you were working, would you still do what you're doing? And if the answer is no, then deep prosperity requires you to start building toward something that you would choose. That's it. You don't need to fix all 4 of them. You don't need to have a final game plan as to what you're going to do with it. You just need to see clearly where you're at right now. Do your deep prosperity audit and figure out, where you're at.
Deep prosperity audit. Okay, so that's something I can definitely wrap my mind around. It's an exercise I think I can do probably in about 30 minutes over the next few days. That I can take care of. So you got anything else? Anything else?
Yeah, before we close, I just want everybody to remember this. Look, the Optimist, the Pessimist, and the Ostrich, they all made the same mistake. They bet their future on a prediction. The sovereign doesn't predict. He builds prosperity that pays in any world. And you know what, 601? Nobody knows what the future holds. The men who thrive won't be the ones who predicted correctly. They'll be the ones who built a position that didn't require a prediction in the first place. Be that guy.
I will try. So once again, this is the Second Half Man Show. If you like what you saw here today, please please subscribe. Help us build the brotherhood.
And if you'd like to go a little deeper on what we were talking about today, subscribe to our newsletter at secondhalfman.com/newsletter. That's secondhalfman.com/newsletter. Get all the details and information that goes a little deeper than what we were able to right now. And keep an eye out for my book, The Second Half Manifesto, How to Stay Dangerous When AI and Society Want You Obsolete. That'll be out shortly in bookstores near you.
So until next time, I'm 601.
I'm Russ Borden.
Stay dangerous.